breathing son of a bitch.
I fucking didn't have to record. I was just talking. What about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1?
Scat, scat, bibbity bop bop.
Bibbidi bop bop bop. Snap scat boo boo.
Boopin' poopin', boopin' poop.
Wildly uninteresting podcast.
Scat.
If you're new to the show, would you
Podcast.
please like and share? Would you please hit the notification
Well, if they're new,
button?
give them a minute to like the show before they like it.
I found out that you
much
have
your
to
fan
like do it right in the beginning. So
Yeah.
people are like, fuck it, I'll do it if you do it. So do all that stuff. But welcome back to the show for episode 139 of
Yeah.
the Wildly Uninteresting podcast.
Wah.
I'm Adam. That's Ian.
I'm
That's
Ian.
Sarah.
I'm Sarah.
And we are the podcast. We are what makes the podcast.
We are the
Yes.
podcast.
You're
Yes.
thinking what a podcast looks like. This is it. No, welcome back.
It's not a podcast if we're not here.
Yeah.
We took
Any
a
podcast.
week off, and Apple Podcasts
Oh, we did.
is an asshole because the minute you take 1 week off, they like drop you down to like a bi-weekly podcast or whatever. Even though we put out like an episode every week, you know,
It's crazy.
Right.
it switches it automatically.
You
So
know,
people are like,
they don't remember all the things you did right. They remember that one mistake.
yo, I had a boss
Lock 'em up
before
forever.
that used to he would never give like constructive, I guess it was constructive, he would never give you like a compliment on the work you did. You could do a million things right, but the second you did something wrong, like that is all you heard about until your next mistake.
Still
Right.
hears about it to this day.
Oh, I still hear about it, yeah. And we were talking about what, like personally, how our language is when it comes to giving compliments and building up that your partners or your own self-esteem and shit.
Right.
And that's why I told her, I was like, I fucking beat myself up enough. I like somebody who will beat me up also, but tell me the things that I did right in the process.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you have to have balance.
Yeah. You got to tell me like, all right, you did this right. This is awesome, blah, blah, blah. But you could really work on everything else.
Well, I mean, if you majorly fuck something up, you want somebody that will tell you that you did.
Yeah.
But don't nitpick more than I already do.
Right.
Oh, I know, man.
That's not helpful. It's like, I know. I did that. That was dumb.
This is what I did.
What did I do right?
I admitted
Nothing.
it to you.
Oh, I know.
That was my idea.
Yeah.
You idea stealing, bitch.
I wish there was, I don't know. I wish they, like, if you were put in that position, especially as a boss, that you would have to go to, like, classes for the different languages of people when it comes to self-esteem and insecurities and shit. I don't know what that would fall under, but just how you teach people. That should be in management skills. And,
Yeah, there'll definitely be management skills
yeah.
for sure.
I don't, you wouldn't expect them to be shitty at that, but they are.
Of course you would. Because all they do is they do what they do alone. It's like in the movie There Will Be Blood.
Yep.
It's like he just spends the whole first part of the movie working by himself. He's like, look, all I do is work hard. If I break my fucking leg and get stuck in this hole, I dig myself out and I drag myself into town.
Jesus.
Why can't you do that?
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're hard workers and they know what they're doing, but they don't necessarily know what they're doing with people.
No.
Yeah.
I think if it hadn't been for psychology classes and a general caring of things, I wouldn't know how to talk to people.
Yeah.
I think
It's definitely a gift.
yeah, being a natural, empathetic person, I think that people like to talk to me. And then I what is that when you like, I get people on a different level. You know what I mean? I can actually like emotionally get into their life and then like try to build them up or whatever.
Machiavellian.
Yeah, it's so weird. I
Yes.
don't know what that is. But yeah, that's how do you learn or how do you build yourself up? And when is it that you just shut down and like, fuck this, I'm not doing
Well, I
it
don't shut down anymore.
at all?
I just think I have a goal. It's all part of the process.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'll take a day and I'll get fucked up. And then I just wake up the next day. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
All right.
It's kind of how I deal with people dying, too.
Oh, I got you. Yeah, like grieving and shit.
Yeah. Oh, they're dead? All right. Well, I'm going to get really loaded once.
Yeah.
And then I'm fine.
Just once.
Just once.
That's perfect.
Just,
Works out well.
shrug it off. Yeah, that's shit. No, I don't know how I work through that kind of stuff. But But like learning something, I'm willing to be bad, and I know that I'm terrible. But when I'm really, really good at something, and I know that from like the majority giving me that feedback, and then somebody's like, "Oh, well, you're terrible at this." I'm like, "Well, you're one out of like 150 people, so
Yeah.
I think you might be wrong, but that's okay. You
Even
can have
if
your
they're
opinion."
wrong, it's just, okay, then show me how to do it better.
Yeah.
And when they can't, you're like, fuck off.
Yeah. What am I doing wrong? Please tell me.
Something I've learned working in the trades is that every single person that does a job, whether it's pipe fitting, plumbing, electric, all that shit, everybody has their way of doing it, right? And usually when I step on a job with other guys, and then they're doing a job, as long as they get it done, even if it's taking a little bit longer, but if it's quality work, like I just overlook it. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
But there's dudes in the trade, man, that will, if you're on their job, they're like, you have to do it, their way, the way they learned it coming up in the trade. They
Even
might be
though your way is still correct.
right.
It doesn't look like they want it to look.
Yeah, and they want to change it. And the fact is,
That's
if,
just micromanaging.
Absolutely. That person needs to get hit in the face or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. Something better
Fucked
than
by
that.
a rake.
yeah.
It's funny. I was going to say a stick in the ass. I was like, well, that's kind of aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Well,
want
if
the, I
you-
want the fierce part.
But if you try to get somebody in the midst of like a job, right? If you try to like change the way that I've been doing something for so long, whatever, you essentially make the job go 2
Slower.
to 3 times longer because I'm learning your way of doing it. So I think more people need to open up to different
Need
possibilities.
to be like trust fall kind of things
Yeah.
for people in the trade.
Hell yeah. You didn't fall right. Really, a micromanager.
You don't catch good.
Ooh,
A
catch no good.
micromanager shouldn't be in a management position. You've got, unless that's what like the company calls for, but when I was a counselor, every single one of us was totally different. And all supervisors were fine with it. They knew how to manage different people.
And then you can give you different clients.
Yeah.
Like, here, you're going to mesh with this person.
Absolutely.
People that micromanage should just be coders.
For real.
It's like
Yeah.
if you want to nitpick every little thing,
Definitely
that's a
should be.
forward slash instead of a backslash. Great job.
Good job.
I'd be
That's what
awful
you're
at
here
that
for.
job.
I don't know if I could do coding, man. That would because I'm a tactile person, right? So when even at home, dude, or like the podcasts or anything, I like doing it. Don't get me wrong. I like editing videos and putting together music, but I truly love when I can like physically hold something and create something, and then like I have a physical thing after the job's done,
For sure.
or
Right.
the creative process. And I don't know if I texted you the other day or if I texted you before, but I was like, it was Monday or some shit, and I texted Sarah. I was all down and fucked up, and I was like, I just want to fucking create for a living. And then like 2 seconds later, I was like, that was the most millennial shit I've ever said in my life. I apologize.
I think it's fine though. That's good. If that's what you want to do, is what
Yeah,
you
if
should
that's
be
what you
doing.
want to do, fucking do it.
Go
But there's no like,
millennials.
there was no direction. It was just like, I want to be creative for a living. Like, what does that entail?
Yeah, no matter what
dummy?
it is, I want to do it.
Well, it entails creating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everything.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're so good at it, you could literally do anything you want.
Yeah,
And
make
be
it or
good.
shut the fuck up.
Ooh. I saw on Craigslist there was somebody selling their time. Oh, and on like OfferUp and shit, there was somebody selling their time as if they were a psychologist, a paid psychologist, but they weren't. They're just like a good listener
I
or
think I
some
went
shit.
to high school with that girl.
Yeah.
Really?
I've seen the ad before. I'm sure there's more than one person, but I've seen a girl I went to school with doing that.
Well, I got a question. As long as that person's not giving you like tools or guidance in anything, if they're just listening, if you're like paying somebody to listen, is it so wrong? I think it's wrong if they present themselves as a psychiatrist. but
Right. They're saying, I don't know shit, but I can lend a
I'll
shoulder.
listen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much would you pay for somebody to lend a shoulder to you?
Well, I have friends, so I would pay nothing. But
Yeah,
I
that's what I'm thinking.
I could understand it if you don't have anybody in your life. Perhaps everybody you know is dead. Like, sure, I could see doing that. I guess it would depend on how long I plan on talking to them.
Yeah, I would say for experimental purposes, I would pay $5 an hour
Yeah.
for like the first 2 hours, and then if you really wow me with your listening, I might Bump it up to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe even just the flat rate of $20, and I can talk to you for as long as I
Yeah.
want. Yeah.
Let's go get wings,
Yeah.
and I'll talk to you.
Yeah.
I don't want you lip smacking, but you can respond.
It's hard to, I think, to be an interactive listener or a sympathetic listener or whatever, because sometimes shit just goes way too far in the conversation. You're like, why am I in this again? And then
How
I
did we get here?
yeah, I love like human interaction and talk. But I think it's so it's just weird to be in that moment. But sometimes like I'll get so fucking anxious and frustrated that they won't quit. That like my toes are curl and the inside it feels like knots are building up in me, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here! Like, I hate that.
I like it whenever it's the same person that brings you to that point, and then they finally start to pick up on your cues, and they're like, I know you don't care. And I'm like, right, yeah.
I wish more people would pick up on my cues, because sometimes they just don't. And I'm like, how am I still standing here? You know, I genuinely enjoy talking to people and listening and everything, but, you know.
Yeah, there's a limit.
Yeah, 2 hours in. We should have ended an hour ago.
Yeah.
Adam, how much would you pay to talk to somebody who
much you
wasn't
gonna
a
pay?
therapist? Just a
Oh,
random
how much
person?
would I? Like you said, they have to be really good at listening. So they have to fill that same void of a listener, a good listener. But I think for somebody's time in that sense, I would probably pay $40, $50.
Yeah.
An hour? Yeah.
God, I'll do it for you for 20.
But as that,
Come
you know
to
what I
me.
mean? You gotta think like their time and take it away from their life. So I would say like 40.
Yeah, they're probably knee deep in a bunch of shit. I'm really good at listening.
Especially
Pay me. They don't do anything. Here's
I'll say
$10.
I'm proud of this stranger for knowing their strengths. I'm just going to assume that they are actually good at listening and
Yeah.
that they're willing to offer that assistance
true.
to someone. That's badass to
That
me.
does imply at least a certain level of sweetness
Yeah,
to them.
absolutely.
So I don't want to like fully crap on them, but I mostly crap on them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get
Well,
it
yeah,
together.
too. Plus, it does look a little white trash, like kind of like you might meet at a trailer, is what I'm saying. I'm
Yeah.
just saying that you
Right.
might have to speak with this person at a trailer, and which is fine if that's what you want to do. But you know, I know some people, unfortunately, who give massages at like a trailer park, right? So you come to their trailer and they're like, "Well, I have it set up in my home, but it's a trailer in a trailer park." So it kind of looks weird. It's not like a trailer in the country.
So that kind of
It's
ties
normal.
in because I was thinking they should become like a bartender at a strip club, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
they like pop their cans out. It's like just enough cleavage to where it's like I will stay here.
Pop their cans out. I didn't know what you meant.
Entendre.
Titties. He was talking about titties.
Yeah. Them boobs.
Fucking cat.
Fucking cat.
Oh, well. Either
I
way.
guess since I just ruined the podcast, I'll get up for a second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. No, I don't know though. I think it's difficult to listen to some people. We had one lady that would just call. I think we've said it before, but she would call us just to really just to have a conversation. She was like, "I need a quote on this thing," and knowing that she was never going to get it done in the first place. And man, she would unload some like wicked shit, dude. And nobody, like even her kids, like stopped talking to her and shit. And I'm just like, I don't know. It's after the third time of going over there and listening, it's like you might want to call a doctor, because I'm not in the position to have you unload on me. And then I know you want something in return, but I can't give you anything.
Right.
There's some fucked up shit.
Absolutely.
If you want me
when
to
she-
listen to anything else, you're gonna pay me to fix a light. If one
Maybe
isn't,
one light.
if one isn't in need of being fixed, I will break one.
Karate kick it. I'm like, fix this one. They're so angry, man.
Karate man, electricity.
So unfortunately, we just to get out of like keep going over there. She was like, "I want this quote." So we gave her a quote, and it was far exceeding like what it should have been, just so that she could be like, "No, I'm not gonna get that work done." So
Yeah.
then we could be like, "Okay, we're not gonna come over and give 12 quotes."
And then a month later, she called back. I'll pay it.
I'll fucking pay.
Will you
Crazy.
please just
I
come
would
listen to me?
God, I would send her. I would be like, "We're out. We're out of business. We don't even do that anymore."
You can hire me. I'll be your listener.
There you go.
Send me to all your pathetic people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I could do that. I'd be like, I have a guy for that. And it just says Ian and then your number.
Hold that thought.
Yeah.
Let me call this guy real
Show
quick.
up listening to Rage Against the Machine really loudly. Kind of like a can of wine. Let's do
Can of
this.
wine.
I'm here to listen. Why a can? Yeah, that's
That's
crazy.
awesome.
I don't know.
Do they sell wine in a can?
Yes.
That sounds like it'd be
Definitely.
disgusting.
That's okay.
I mean,
It's like
good,
bad wine, but it's portable.
So
which
is a
makes
bottle.
it good wine.
So is a box.
Yeah, but it's discreetly portable. Driving around town with a box of wine.
It'd be terrible.
What a good idea.
That would be pretty cool.
It's like driving around with a bong. I mean, that's just the most extreme way that you could drive around in taking a substance. Bong or a box.
Got it strapped into your passenger seat.
A long ass straw.
What would you name your travel bong?
Mine was Bat Bong.
Bat wong wong.
Yes.
Bat, bat,
Bat Wong Bong.
bat, bat,
Bong.
wong.
That was
I
his
don't know,
name.
man.
Rest in peace, Bat Bong.
So have you dove deep into anything lately as far as like your learning process?
No,
Or that ass.
You piece of shit. You
I don't-
piece of shit.
I don't remember anything.
Yo, that's Sarah
nice.
sent me. Well, I've been sending you shit all the time about it, so you know, but they don't. Sarah sent me a song,
They don't.
a song to learn. It was like I don't. What is it? La Maria di Amor or some shit. Marriage.
What's
Yeah,
marriage?
I feel like it was marriage, but I don't know how
Yeah.
you would actually pronounce it.
It's a Chopin song,
Marriage.
right? And
Marriage.
I was like, "There's no way in
It's
hell."
chopping.
It's not
Chopin.
Chopin.
Oh,
I'm very loud.
and
Marriage
I
chopping.
Oh, okay.
I told her that I was like, when I first like saw the name, I always thought it was Chopin. I'm like, who the fuck's name? Go by the first name or last, anything but this. But I didn't know it was Chopin until I heard somebody say, "Oh, it's Chopin," and they were talking about nocturnes
Yeah.
and 9 and
Nocturne
G or
number
some shit.
X.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, this makes more sense. That sounds better. But that song, dude, I was like, there's no way in hell that I'm ever going to get that. And then I sat down at the piano and I learned all 3 parts. They're still not great. I still have to like get them, but I know where everything's at and I can play it. And it baffled me, man, because I was like in my older age, I feel like it would be harder
40?
to learn. No, 31. 31, going on 32.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Late 32.
I thought you were like projecting into the future.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I was saying like
With an
now,
adult
that's-
brain.
That is some serious piano playing.
I was really thinking about it.
I'm going to hold off learning it for 25 years. See
Yeah.
if my brain can handle it.
I thought after all this time that it'd be worse, but when I was a kid, I would like not. I always want like a static like note on this hand, like or a chord on this hand while I'm playing. I don't want this hand to move at a certain tempo and this hand to move at a certain tempo.
Yeah, you want to play piano like a guitar player.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is fucking. It was crazy to me, like how, and that's that. I'm like playing like the medium version of it. And this dude plays an insane version of it, which this guy is actually like from outer space, and he plays on a magical piano.
Well, I mean, you are too.
Yeah.
I just can't play piano. I just come out.
You
come down
can
here
play
for-
piano.
You can play piano. This is
Yeah.
what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Cutting down on yourself.
Oh, dude, yeah,
You know,
yeah,
you might be an idiot, but you can play piano.
Yeah,
And,
and
you're
it-
from outer space.
yeah.
You
I
are from
like
outer
it.
space. And you didn't take long
That would
to learn
make
that
a
song.
lot of sense.
It was,
Whatever. That blind girl is better than you.
Dude, that blind girl.
She
you
was
know,
fucking killing it.
that's what I wondered when I was listening to her, because there is an obvious thing that happens is, what do they call that? Anomaly or whatever? When you have a prodigy that pops out of whatever womb they came from, and they're just fucking fantastic at something, right? That chick, she's blind. She's 7 years old, and she played that like a monster.
Well,
dude.
and she could have been playing it for 6 years.
Yeah, I mean, what else
Like
is she
that's
going to
the
do?
only song. What if? What
Oh,
if
no.
that was the only song? Yeah. Then that would
I
make
only
more
know
sense.
one.
Yeah. The mom's like, yeah, we set these motherfuckers up for failure. They think she's a prodigy, but really. But that's what always, I don't know. When I was a kid, I just couldn't understand that. And then like a guitar, I made sense out of it. You know, I was like, oh, I'll just change it like this and whatever. But I find that as I'm getting older, like it's easier to remember those things and to like learn, but I have to put them in like subsections of like like puzzle pieces and patterns, and then I just remember them. But I'm like, is that so? This is another cutting myself down. So is that really learning the piano, or is that just remembering a pattern?
It's both.
They're the same thing.
Yeah, it's the same damn thing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Look at every other piano
Planet.
Yeah.
Piano planet.
player. I was going to say on the planet. Like that's all it is. That's all any musical instrument is learning a pattern and being able to replicate it. What's wrong with
like,
me today?
are you fluid within those patterns?
Yeah.
Then you're a player.
Then you're a player. That's I just I'm trying to learn that not everything has to have a purpose. And
I'm
I think
a pimp.
You're a pimp?
Pimps don't kill themselves.
They pay people to do it.
I mean, seriously though, fucking I don't know what I was saying though.
But I wasn't serious.
What was I saying?
Oh, you were talking about playing the piano.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Piano players.
everything doesn't have to have a purpose. I think that I make everything have to have a purpose. And I think a lot of people do. They're like, oh, this has to like make me money, or I have to have a career out of this.
Because everybody thinks if it has a purpose, then it's
means
monetizable,
Well,
and then they won't ever have to work again.
Yeah.
The purpose of a lot of things are just for you to enjoy.
To enjoy.
That's what self-care is essentially. That's what relaxation is. It's enjoy it.
Alan Watts talks about music. He's like, if it was about getting to an end point or playing it fast or whatever, then whoever played it fastest would be the best. But it's just something you do.
Yeah.
And if you were to, you would just you would miss out on the actual purpose of why you're doing it. I guess. So that's what it's been teaching me, I guess.
Whatever, man. People need to quit looking for purpose.
Yeah. You
Purpose
think so?
doesn't matter.
I think people.
If it
do,
keeps
man.
you from killing yourself, then maybe.
Yeah.
But
Murder.
people put too much emphasis on purpose.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
What does purpose mean to you, or do you just not even think about the end goal for anything?
Yeah, I mean, now I don't even like if I have a goal, then it's like, all right, I'm gonna just do this.
Yeah.
But it's not like I'm gonna do this to achieve this. It's like I'm gonna do this because this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then whenever it's done, I'll either have a new goal or I'll just latch onto something that kind of catches my attention in the periphery.
Yeah.
Well, and purpose doesn't have to be this big, grand thing of I'm going to change the world. Like your purpose can just be to exist and do what the fuck you're supposed to do. I mean,
What's the meaning of life?
Yeah,
I don't know.
things.
Are you going to kill yourself if you don't find meaning? Shut
right.
the fuck up. Just do.
Yeah, no one knows, so just do what you're supposed to do.
I think though that's why so many people put emphasis on like, oh, you should have a career and you shouldn't change jobs and you should have this savings and shit. And so many people live a certain life to a certain degree.
Well, I mean, savings are just smart.
But yeah, my question is though, I know it's smart. I know that, like, don't get me wrong. You want to have money when you get older and stuff, and yes, it's a smart thing. But who's to say you're going to get to that finish line? The majority of people, not the majority, I won't say that, but there is a vast amount of people that make it to 62, which that's not even the retirement age anymore for Social Security, which it won't be there for us. But most people don't make it to be able to retire. And if they do, they die shortly after if they're not active and if they don't have their health about them. A lot of people don't.
If they're unhealthy and they don't do anything, they're likely to die.
Yeah.
But they don't care.
No.
People have asked me about like advice and shit, like as they get older. It's like just find a club that you like, stay engaged in some way, and you'll be fine. But if not, then you're just kind of asking to die.
Yeah.
I'm a fish and I don't move a lot.
I don't do.
All right, well, what do you expect to have happen?
Yeah,
right.
I can't survive. No, that's what? Oh, I feel like too many people have a vision of whatever. Like I read a quote that was like, "You're the older you that the younger you was dreaming about, or whatever. I don't know how it goes, but it's like." You're the person the younger you couldn't wait to be, or some shit like that, right? That you were wishing, hoping to be.
Assuming you do anything.
Yeah, and they're saying to enjoy it because when you were 16 or whatever, 15, you wanted to be older and whatever. And it makes you wonder, it's like, so in that aspect, how many people are actually happy with where they come? And was it all that they'd hoped it'd be? That's a weird question to ask yourself.
People just wish their lives away because they think tomorrow's going to be better. Like, you don't know that, actually.
Yeah, if you don't prepare yourself, then it's not going to be better.
Right. Like, why would it be better? What have you done to make it better?
Yeah.
Nothing, probably.
Probably
Doing the
not a
same
lot.
shit.
Some random curveball saved me.
Yeah.
I just tend to think of like the idea of like know yourself, and then it takes me back to Lost in Translation. So whenever Bob Harris is like, once you know yourself and what you want, you don't really let other things bother you. So just take the time to know yourself, and then you'll be fine.
Yeah, you don't let nobody else get in the way of that.
Yeah. And until then, you're just going to flounder about. So get comfortable with that.
Get comfortable floundering.
You gotta love that.
I don't know, man.
No. I think it's a good idea. I mean, well, and that's really, for me anyway, that's like the meaning of life. To know yourself, do what makes you happy, and be kind to other people. That's what the fuck you're here for. No, unless someone comes down to you and says, this is your purpose is to be a good person and do things that you enjoy.
Just treat it like a video game. And you're in a constant pursuit of like the ultimate side quest.
Yeah. Hell yes.
I like it.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I like the fact of like saving money and shit like that. But do you think, say you hated the job that you were in, but you had to be in it, right? And the reason you had to be in it is because you had a family, you had a mortgage,
right?
You had debt, and some other stuff like that, right? And you had to be in this job, right?
Right.
And you made a certain amount, but you needed more because you were only like not even barely making it, right? So you're not barely making it, but the company offers you more.
Right.
Would you say that money would help you enjoy that job that you hate more, or would you feel the same after you got the money a week or two later into it?
You're going to feel the same. It's just a matter of like if you can take care of the shit that you need to take care of, you're slightly happier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just in the sense that you can care for your stuff better.
Well, I just assume in that situation that's not enough for you. You just stick with that stuff because you have a sense of obligation to other people.
Yeah.
You're not going to be happier just because you make more money.
No.
Whatever your people, if they can eat, I guess that'll bring you a sense of joy.
Maybe
but
decrease your stress a little bit because you're not worried. How are we gonna eat?
But then that stuff
Big worry.
can lead to like a sense of resentment towards the people that you're providing for.
Yeah, no shit.
You're like, I work this job that I hate so you can eat.
Yeah. That would happen quick.
That's dumb.
Yeah.
Just abandon them.
That's what I
Go
was
live in the
gonna
woods.
Hell yeah.
That's at a certain point I would abandon some shit. Like I'm not gonna fucking keep doing this. You know what I mean?
So I'm in this group on Facebook. It's like hermetic stuff, and everybody's all about like personal growth and esotericism and shit like that. And they were talking about how society holds people back from the proper transformations that they need.
Yeah.
And I said, well, stop clinging to the things that you have and doing what you do just because of society. Like if society is what's stopping you from your transformation that you need to have happen, then get the fuck away from society.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just consenting to be restrained.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then a chick replied, she's like, well, it's not so easy if you have 3 kids. And I said, I didn't say it would be easy, but taking care of 3 kids in this world will definitely facilitate a transformation on its own.
Yeah.
So instead of looking for a specific kind of thing, maybe recognize what's available to you to provide the change that you need. And then 5 years later, you look back, you're different.
You're a little different. But you're going to change anyways, so why not try to at least hit a direction?
Yeah.
You know? I dislike people,
you do.
not to my soul, but
Period.
I dislike people who, when you
Next topic.
present them with answers to their questions, or you present them with direction or advice, they're always like, well, it's not that easy because I have debt and a kid and blah, blah, blah,
Right.
in or whatever. But it's like, well, you asked for like a truthful response, and if I give that to you, and now you're complaining like you're just making excuses like you've done up until this point, leading you to this fucking question.
I had crap like that when I was younger, and Thoss like would tell me shit. He's like, boy, just do this. If you're doing this, then this is going to lead to this. And I was like, it's not that easy. It's I just didn't want to put in the work, and I wanted stuff given to me.
Yeah.
So people are going to reply in that same way.
And that's everyone expects everything, or not everyone, but many
enough people to be annoying.
Yeah, definitely enough people.
Everything should be given to them, and it should all be easy. Some shit in life is not easy. Who said it was gonna be?
That's I feel like we all get in that trap. I think it depends on how you were raised, is how you combat that feeling of wanting without like truly putting in the effort for it. But there is a vast group of people, and I'm not going to say millennials or generation, whatever.
Every generation is shitty.
Yeah. They all have that certain group of people that they want for nothing. And, I don't know where they think they're going to get it, though. And I don't want to be that dude, that old dude that's like, can you, get the fucking work, you kid. I don't care what you do, but you're definitely not going to go far if...
Definitely go to work.
Yeah. Dude, provide something for the
Put in effort,
society that you live in.
Yeah. Get to striving or get to dying.
Yeah, but they'll take offense to that. And I think that the people...
They will.
Yeah.
I think people placate those people because nobody gives a shit whether they're happy doing whatever. You know what I mean?
Plus, if you take enough offense, people will feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
And then you'll have other idiots on your side that are like, oh, we could be loud.
They band together.
Yeah.
Kind of like the cancel Kurt.
Which is why we need to bring back firing squads.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Line them up.
Line them up. Oh, the ones that we didn't get with the firing squad? To the gallows.
Yeah. No, that's that's what we thought about when we were looking at the amount of homeless there are now compared to 2 years ago. And it's like, it makes you wonder, are a lot of these people the people that were like, I don't want to do anything, but I want to get things given to me, and then they end up in a situation like that, or they become addicted to drugs and then they have no coping skills, and then it's like what happens here? Because some of them look like, they're not supposed to be homeless. They look taken care of. They have nice teeth or whatever. It's like, what did you do to end up with, nothing?
Right.
I don't know if there's an answer.
If anybody out there has nothing, give us a call.
Yeah. I'd like
They
to
don't
know.
have a phone. How are they going to call us?
Oh, no, they do. All of them have the cell phone.
I'm saying this fake person.
Nope, he does.
Now
Obama gave him a
this
phone.
fake person has seen the tent.
Yeah.
They know.
They know.
I like that there's still Obama phones,
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
even though he hasn't been president for like a year or two.
2 years. That's it.
That's all.
I don't know what time is.
He was around just 6 months ago, wasn't he?
Still passing out those phones.
Yeah.
I think we need to get into the sleeping pill industry.
Oh,
Like,
yeah?
I don't know how to make them,
I can
but
do
I
that.
feel like we need to.
We could just hire a chemical scientist to come up with, tweak a thing that's already out there and then
Dr.
make it a little
Sax
bit better.
Woods.
And you could
Just put
tweak
him
it
in the
for-
lab.
Cooking up sleeping pills. That's
Just
a
buy
good one.
a bunch of sleeping pills, press them all together, and then resell those for double the price.
Yeah, they're like a sleeping ball
Yeah.
of sleep.
I don't know why, but I guess yesterday, the day before, because we were watching that thing about the mushrooms and shit. I was all loaded. I made a note, said, have a thing where there's a substance that makes you better called Sonalm. It's a not so clever anagram for salmon. And since they swim upstream, they're equipped to make all of humanity better in pill form. Give it a cute design that screams of comfort.
So good.
Sonalm. So there we go. We're going to have the limitless pill.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna
It's
sell
fucking
it.
Great.
And we'll have a sleeping pill. That'll get us started.
I think that's a
both
lot
have
of people
key
wish
stands on
that
them.
there were a limitless pill. I think that's like
I
a
do.
fantasy of most people, that they're like, oh, there's something out there that the elite are taking that we can't get a hold of because look at them, they just know it and all this. And they're
It's
just,
called study
yeah,
and placement.
And money.
like push yourself.
Study money placement.
Yeah.
Study money placement.
Yeah. Study money placement.
But yeah,
I just wanted to say it too.
I think the psychology of that movie plays into how people really feel about the real world. We like when in the movie you're stuck in a shitty like writer's block, fucking debt, fucking 1-bedroom apartment bullshit,
Impotence.
Yeah, you get all fucking depressed and shit, and then that compounds the shittiness you're living in. And we all just wish there was a way out. Why do you think people play the lottery, knowing they're not going to win? Why do you think?
Because they're too scared to shoot themselves in the brain with a bullet.
It's maybe, just maybe, they'll win.
That movie is the same reason why people play the lottery. Because we wish there was an easy way out of this. Like same thing that leads people to suicide. They're like, fucking, I need the easy way out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like suicide is kind of pushed along by frequencies. Yeah. Because people get their brains touched to a certain
I got touched.
megahertzes.
Yeah.
So then they just do it.
So you think there's like a mad scientist out there with like a megahertz fucking thing just pushing suicide on people?
Well, I got this for
goggles.
Do it.
I got this pseudo family member, right? And
is it a stuffed animal?
No.
Yes.
He
But we don't want to say
kind of
that.
like family, but it's like far removed, weird stuff. I think a cousin fucked an aunt or some shit. I don't know. So
We have something like that in our tree.
yeah,
Great
I really
grandma's
think everybody
uncle's
does.
cousin's daughter.
And this
had a
dude
baby.
fucking told me, which tells me a lot, so it's hard to keep up sometimes. And I don't know where this stuff comes from. I don't know what Facebook group or what video or what TikTok, what does this to people? But this dude, believes all the shit they push. So he believes that, that they push this, that movie. You remember the movie with the robot is like Chopin or whatever?
Yeah.
He said that was real.
Chappie.
Like that, Chappie.
Yes.
That whole movie was real, and that's like real robots that they use in Iraq, and they're building robots to like put into our body that can reproduce and make other robots. And what else was it? It was some crazy shit.
yeah.
I'm inclined to believe that because I genuinely believe that Ray Kurzweil is an AI. So, he's not like a living, breathing human being anymore. He is essentially a chappie. So
Like them
your
chappies.
so your cousin animal is right on that.
Yeah.
Well, in your opinion, let's not.
What else
act
do we
like-
need?
Let's not act like for a fact, dude's AI.
Watch an interview with him. You'll
was
see.
what was the last name?
Kurzweil. It's like Kurzweil, I think.
That's how I feel about the
Oh, yeah.
Facebook dude. He has to be a robot.
Yeah.
He's weird. Zuckerberg. That's
Zuckerberg.
I want to say he's a robot, but I also think maybe he's just like a really rich troll.
He's weird.
Yeah.
Oh my
he's
God.
definitely a
Everything
rich
about
troll.
him, he creeps me out. If he's not like an AI, he is a pervert.
Oh, well, yeah.
Or maybe both. I don't know.
I would say I think he
Pervy
does it
robot.
on purpose. I think he does it
He's
on
like,
purpose for like
can't do it.
it weirds people
That's
out.
what I would do, yeah.
He fucking cuts his hairline weird, so it looks like. Have you seen his
Well,
hairline? It's
Yeah,
weird.
it's just because he has shitty hair.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Shave it.
But his eyes are always
a wig.
bloodshot and they're watery
wig.
slightly. He has like this dazed on look that's easily replicable.
It's like I haven't slept for 16 years.
Yeah, maybe that's
Keeps
it.
going, yeah,
maybe
maybe
just
that
don't
is.
sleep.
Maybe that's what happiness looks like.
Oh no.
Oh Jesus, I don't
Or
want it.
maybe he licks his own eyes.
Oh, with his lizard tongue.
Yeah.
I like that idea.
Yeah, I don't care for that, the look of that guy, but I've heard that the metaverse is actually failing. They said it's gonna like pick back up, but as far as like a profitable industry, it's not
You
there
gotta
yet.
give it time.
I know. Do you think it's gonna be like that shit that what is it, PlayStation or Xbox come
I
out
think
with?
we're gonna need like a million more people to have an Oculus.
Yeah.
Oh, here's
Like-
the key. How do you get an Oculus in every home, even for like the people who don't have a lot of money?
Well, if they can give away crack pipes, they could probably get everybody an Oculus.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
My
You
God,
just
they're
give 'em
only
away.
like $200 or $300. They could definitely. That means that shit costs like $2 to fix or to make. Give one to everybody.
Yeah.
It's awesome. give us one. If you're out there and that's off.
Yeah. If
And
you want to hook
you're-
us up with an Oculus, give us a call. Or just bring it by.
Please, I'll give you my address.
We're down at the place.
He's like, I know where that is.
Yeah.
Oh, so
People know where the place is.
I also have a customer, the first honest customer I've had in a very long time.
Jeez.
And this person said to me, they were like, I can't wait till I get off work because I want to pop my earbuds in, lay in bed, and play on TikTok all night long. And they were like, I am addicted to it and I love it. And I'm okay with being addicted, right?
Yeah.
They're like, there's so much cool shit on it. I have all these recipes, blah, blah, blah. I don't know how often they put them into action or
Well,
whatever.
you already said she, so
I know.
what are you
But
going to do?
it was the first person
But
that
it
does
might
that.
not be, okay?
And she
You
was,
never
it was
know.
kind of like, she was expressing to me kind of the psychology behind it and shit, which was odd because most people that get on this shit are addicted to it. It's the algorithm that makes the rewards and shit, whatever. So, but they also feel like these people that are posting videos of actually doing something, they are feeling like they're doing it. They're feeling the sensation of making that house or making that shed or
Yeah.
painting that picture or whatever. So it makes them feel smarter than they actually are. It's like I got another friend that like that's where he does all his studying at. Like
What an idiot.
anything
He is an
he's
idiot.
like
Jesus
finances
Christ.
and shit. He's like, oh, I'll just look it up here, and then he'll be like, I do research, and that's the research is TikTok.
Well,
It's not research. I hate this person so much.
no, so
If
much.
you're listening, you know who you are. I fucking hate you.
God.
That's what, when they say, oh, I've been doing research and I've never read that, right? Or something about like running a company or starting it, right? And they'll be like, no, that's not how you do it. It's this way because I've been doing study and stuff, and they'll send me a video of whatever the thing that
Yeah.
they had studied, but it's always a TikTok video. And I'm like, yeah, I didn't start a company or anything, but you're right. And that guy on TikTok's right. I guess. I don't know how
Sometimes
this fucking
Casper will tell me stuff that she got from there, and every once in a while it's true.
Yeah.
But
Every once
fucking
in a
look it
while.
up.
Oh, no, you have to definitely look it up.
I get all my shit from YouTube though, so
I know.
But I feel like you definitely look into more shit. You're not just like,
Yeah.
well, this video is fact.
no, like
Except
even
for the AI thing.
even the oh no, that's my own design. That's but like we'll watch bedtime stories, and they have the shit about like the Russian people that died while they were in the mountain and all this other shit.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I want to believe all of it so badly, but I'll still look it up like while the episode's on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
It's,
I do that too.
Casper ended up contacting those people,
Mm-hmm.
and they made a drawing of us like with our pumpkin heads on, and there's like the galaxy behind us.
Get out.
Yeah, and they put their little emblem on like her necklace. It's cool as shit.
Oh
How
my
badass
God.
is that?
Yeah, so badass.
Yeah, man.
I loved it.
That's
And now
so
it's just
fucking
sitting on
cool.
our table because I don't know where the fuck to put it.
Right where it
Yeah.
is. It's in
Yeah.
the perfect place.
It's on a table.
I want to see this
On a
shit.
table.
How cool.
Dude,
I'll send
yeah,
it to you.
Thank you.
I'm good with that.
I was
But
looking
I'm
at
with you
Adam.
though.
Oh.
Send it to you.
I'll send it to you. But YouTube has done now, which it takes longer. Of course, everything fucking takes longer. But they do like a check of your video, so it just runs through your video and it checks if you're spouting shit off of Q or whatever. They'll flag it if you're saying shit about like conspiracy theories and shit. They'll flag it, but now YouTube has to at least give an article of said thing that you're talking about. So say you're looking up 9/11 and stuff like that. Well, the bar that comes at the bottom is like 9/11 was an actual terrorist attack, that there are people who believe that it was a conspiracy, but all the facts show that it's whatever.
Is this something you've come across with our videos? Or is it just
No, they
something you
just
know?
check. Yeah, just something
Okay.
that comes out. And the check takes a lot longer than it used to.
9/11 never happened.
No?
No.
Okay.
So something else that
I'm
oh,
a
shit.
truther.
I know.
Oh, you remember there was a few fucking episodes ago, and I told you, I was like, I guarantee you they're going to start trying to push propaganda against China, and they're going to try to, that's our next war is going to be against China, right? That they're
Right.
going to try to like say, oh, we have to because they're invading whatever. They're in our technology or whatever, right?
They're holding Apple employees hostage.
Yeah, something. Yeah. So I texted Sarah yesterday. I was driving and I had it had to be propaganda that come up on YouTube, and it was like China and Biden is signing a deal about giving our technology rights away to China, and it was something like hashtag there are rights China or some shit. Like, so they're starting to try to feed slowly the mill of China's still communist and they're out to get everything and they're spying on you and all this stuff. I guarantee you that they're going to try to fuel a war for that, either that or for Russia. And I think we should all stand up and be like, we're not fucking having it this time.
Now that I know like what it actually said, which I said this whenever he sent me that text, was that it's because he'll watch some of the videos that are like super Trump and everything is fake and
so I have an
the
opinion.
Mike videos.
Yeah, it's definitely because you've watched some of those is what it is.
Oh yeah,
because that is
I feel like
crazy.
Yeah, the way it was portrayed, like the commercial, I'm like, I'm surprised that YouTube allowed it, but it stands the reason that YouTube would have a footing in it. You know what I mean? Like, of course they're going to have a footing in whatever the government wants to push or whatever.
But what if that stuff actually is true?
Oh yeah,
in another universe, like they're just preparing for the Mandela effect. Down the line.
Yeah,
I believe that more.
4 universes over.
Yeah,
this is true.
It'll
get there when it needs to get there.
Hell yeah.
Somebody I took a deep dive. We watched this like 9/11 thing. Then I was like, I couldn't get my mind off it. For some reason that thing fucks me up, man. 9/11 fucks me up. So they were talking about a Mandela effect.
Imagine that.
with the Pentagon, right? And they were like, how many people remember them saying that there were 0 casualties because they were remodeling that section of the Pentagon? Everybody was like away from that area.
Yeah.
That the first reports that came out were like 0. But now the casualties in that are 123 with the people on the plane, right?
Yeah.
Or with the people on the plane. So everybody in the comments like, yeah, I remember them saying 0. Yeah, I remember the Mandela effect is saying that now it's 123, and everybody's like, oh, it used to be 0. And I'm trying to think back. I don't know if
it was, because that wing was closed down for reconstruction or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why it was like, oh, how convenient. They hit the Pentagon when there's nobody in that part.
That's what I always thought. Like, I remember that thought when I was a kid, but I don't know. It's been a long time, so I can't trust.
There's
that
your problem, Bucko. You're
Yeah.
thinking of it from the mind of a kid.
Yeah.
Kids are stupid. You don't remember anything right.
I think
So-
though. What?
Oh, well, so with that being the case, that originally they said 0 and now it's 123 or whatever. Like, what does that mean?
Well, I figured that because whenever they would
lies.
talk about the Pentagon and shit, like I didn't take into account the people that were on the plane or the plane it's like a missile, because I don't think it was a fucking plane. But if you count the plane, then yeah, that makes sense. They're just like, oh, nobody that was working in the Pentagon that day.
Oh yeah,
got-"
so there's 0 there, but
Yeah.
You know,
okay.
the
It's just a matter of misunderstanding.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what I told Sarah. I said it's so hard in those, even the first few days, like when something tragic happens, especially something beyond comprehension that has never happened on American soil before, right? You get a lot of people that say dumb shit in the beginning.
At
Even
least not foreign terrorism,
no, none.
but domestic.
But that's what
Timothy McVeigh.
Yeah.
is what I'm getting at.
Well, and then in 1996, it being bombed already, like the whatever World Trade Center was bombed. in
Bob the Builder
1996.
organization.
Yeah. But the more I watch, like I fucking truly, I take back everything I said, because there's a lot of raw video that didn't get shown as far as like on the news and shit, and that they released eventually. And the one with the Pentagon and shit, man, because there's a lot of like the lampposts and shit that only a wing would fucking do, and there's just. What I'm trying to get at is the older I get, I'm like, no, that shit was not a conspiracy. I think that our government knew that something was going to
great.
happen that day. Not
Adam's
that
been
day.
brainwashed, everybody.
I know. Dude,
No,
I'm
he's
telling
just
you.
not an idiot.
He buys the official story.
No, well, I buy some of the story, and I buy that that we knew that year that something was happening because they gave them a warning pretty much and said that we're gonna do something. They just had no clue what. And then the agencies
Right.
not speaking to one another made it really hard to follow the pieces
Well, and
that
how
could have
do you-
been handled.
How do you protect against something on some day somewhere? It's
Yeah.
impossible.
Shut it all down.
Everything.
And
Where
the
do you
fourth
go?
one,
Notice how since COVID started, there hasn't been a 9/11.
Get out of here.
but that's
You're
like that
crazy.
fourth plane that went down and shit like that. If it hadn't been for the 10-minute delay that it had at the gate,
Right.
they all would have hit at the same exact time, and they would have had there would have been no way to stop it. Right, the fourth one, they only stopped it because they seen what happened to the other two. People on the ground had called them on their cell phone, shit like that. So they overtook the cockpit, and there's a recording of that.
Really?
Yeah. Hell yeah.
What is it with you people?
Dude, I don't know.
You
But,
just-
well, I dropped mine. He's throwing his
Yeah,
around,
this
like
motherfucker.
juggling
I
it.
made hype.
I made a point, boy.
But yeah,
No.
there's recording of it. So
But
Okay,
Everything
so
about-
how do we decide that we believe that?
well, because
Right.
there's multiple phone calls of random people who were on the plane calling their loved ones, all saying the same thing, leaving voicemails. Look, I don't know what's going to happen, but the plane has been hijacked.
Right. Well, I mean, like the communication to the people that were on the plane. Like, I get the feeling that you're saying that the people on the plane were made aware that the other planes were flown into buildings. So they were like, no. If we're gonna die, it's not gonna be in a building. Is that?
Yeah,
yeah.
they-
And they were planning on taking control of the cockpit, but the two guys that were hijacked that were in the cockpit did a nosedive and then just was like, "Fuck y'all."
Fuck yeah.
in a field.
Yeah.
So they all died, but they just didn't. Nobody else.
They died on their own terms.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
Well,
But I think that it's just like as I get older, I'm like, I can understand because a lot of conspiracy theories are birthed in tragic, traumatic situations, right? So this stuff with COVID, and you have like a series of things, the lockdowns, the fucking isolation, mix that with all the not fake news, but all the just propaganda bullshit that was pumped to them. Like I can get it. Like we've never had this in America or whatever, where we had to like lock down and our government had to take overreach a little bit.
yeah, not since the 1920s.
1920s.
Gonna
But-
drop that fucking water.
Oh, probably. But that's what I think that, it was just the perfect storm to fuel a very prominent conspiracy theory, unfortunately. And there's a lot of people that will hang on to it for a long time. They'll ride this motherfucker out.
Yeah.
I feel like all the people that wholeheartedly believe it will never not believe it.
No.
Ever. Never.
Well, I mean, it's like with Kennedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, that shit, I'll never believe the true story.
Right?
It doesn't make sense.
yeah.
That
No,
one
it's-
makes sense to me because there's
Oh,
like multiple
God, here we
shots
go.
from front and back. I get that.
No,
You
he
believe
No, he
everything.
means that he understands
Yeah.
that it's a conspiracy.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is that what
there's
you're
a,
saying, Adam?
yeah, there's
Yeah.
a difference between
Tell it to me like that.
like 3 or 4 different directional shots, and you're saying that's one person
One bullet did it from up here.
compared to
Doesn't
like
make
the
sense.
9/11.
Did you guys not see that X-Men movie?
No, absolutely did not.
Quicksilver, man.
It was probably real.
If he can be that fast and the
Probably wasn't a
government
movie.
is doing experiments on people, they have to have an Operation Quicksilver. So the government has someone within the military somewhere that went off.
Where are you
that
getting
can.
this from?
I'm just making it up.
Oh, okay. I was like, this sounds like some shit that
Yeah.
cousin of mine would say.
Yeah,
Yes.
because they're like super soldiers and shit like that. I mean, the government's probably working on stuff, and maybe they have something. But a Quicksilver person,
That'd be awesome.
yeah.
It'd be very cool. But he existed back then, and
Yeah.
he killed Kennedy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's absolutely real.
And he's still alive today. deep in the swamps.
He does interviews from the swamps.
I want to talk from the swamp now.
No, that one will never, until they actually come out and say, okay, this is what actually happened, and everybody involved covered that shit up, I'll not believe anything they say.
No, there's no reason to.
Yeah.
No, and that's, them changing that last frame to make it look like the direction was,
Right.
from the behind instead of front. Like, there was so much shit that they obviously covered up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the shit that was covered up with 9/11 was because the president knew that he had fucked up, and all these agencies knew they fucked up and should have like communicated, and they weren't going to be the heroes. So they, you know what I mean? So they just left information out, and then, get down to the thing. You should have just come out and told the truth in the beginning, and then we wouldn't be in this position of people. I believe. Did you know?
There'd be smaller amount. At
It
least,
makes
of people.
sense to me, like, because if you watch the other videos that haven't been like widely seen or whatever, the buildings don't look like they imploded anymore. Like when there's like a news camera that watches it from, like practically a block over, looking up. The building that fell first, right? The amount of weight that was above the impact was as much as the Titanic. So can you imagine the Titanic like coming down on the lower half? It's gonna crumble. It's not gonna fucking But you can tell that a lot of it wasn't like an implosion. It just seemed like that from the angles.
I disagree.
Because you're an idiot.
Maybe.
I don't know. That's
Nevertheless.
another thing,
I
though.
disagree.
Another question. This is what I always ask the people that are really deep into the queue and stuff like. It doesn't. So even if it is that it's conspiracy, even if your government does conspire against their people and they, pit us against all this other shit. What is that? It's okay. So if you live, this is the thing I told you the other night. If you live a semi-comfortable life, you have your needs met, you have a job, you have whatever you're doing, you can do things, you're not held back, you're not poor, you're not all this. You're just happy, you're living life or whatever.
Right.
Why give a fuck about all the external stuff that's going on when it doesn't the stock market might crash? Would that affect you in any way? Probably not, because you don't have money in the.
Because then if the stock market crashes, then everybody that does have money in it's going to be fucked, and the people that have money in it are the people that have a lot of money.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're probably going to do things that affect me.
But it dropped in 2008, and I don't think I never saw it because my parents were like they're like essential workers or whatever. Like I'm sure your dad didn't feel the effects of that because he was a gas man.
Well, I mean his retirement portfolio took a big hit.
Yeah.
So like if he had retired at that time, he would have had a lot less.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
it would
people
affect
with investments, yes, and then everything is connected.
But in general,
Okay,
though.
so how about another example?
Yeah, another example. I feel like he's pick the next one apart.
I
too.
feel like the whole argument is based on the fact that, like, let's say Sarah's a serial killer rapist, and you're married to her. That's it. But so it's like, well, I mean, she doesn't kill or rape me, so why do I care? But I mean, if you care about the well-being of humanity in general,
right,
you're gonna want that crap to stop.
Yeah,
Because, I
right.
mean, if you look at the Holocaust, it's like, oh, well, they were just killing Jews and black people. I'm not a Jew or a black person, so fuck it. Let it continue.
But instead of being obsessed with the government is conspiring, like, okay, we'll do something about it. Then I can understand. But if
Yeah.
you're just going to be all up in arms and say, this is a fact, and then go on living your life, like,
watch
it
TikTok
Oh, no,
doesn't.
that
videos.
annoys me.
Yeah, it doesn't.
I think that's
impact
what I
you.
was
So,
getting at is
you just
mostly
didn't
like
finish the
yeah, if you have all that stuff and you're genuinely happy, whatever, all the other stuff that you can't technically you yourself can't do anything, and if you could, you'd already be doing.
Well, I mean,
it,
you
right?
can, but you're going to have to put a lot of effort into organizing people.
And they're not going to do that.
Who's going to
Most
do
people's not
that?
gonna do
Let's
that.
be real. Yeah.
Every
Right.
so often you have somebody that can utilize their powers as a human and get people together and riled
So
up.
really, the point is we're helpless.
Technically, yeah. I think that when it comes down to it, unless everybody all at one time says, hey, I think we've had enough of this, and, we're going to overthrow the government, which we're allowed to do if we think that it's
They won't put us in jail for overthrowing.
Oh no,
them.
they probably if you don't
they'll
succeed,
definitely
you're
put
all
you in
going to jail. Yeah, you better fucking hope you succeed in overthrowing your government, because if not, you're gonna suffer the rest of your life.
Well, you would be suffering for the rest of your life unconstitutionally.
Yeah,
And that matters.
Well, to some.
but that's what I'm getting at is like the people that, let's just say the people that you know that watch all that stuff and share it and talk about it and all that shit. Most of them people are not going to put in the work to do anything.
No.
Most of them don't have the balls to like stand up to their boss, let alone the government,
Right.
or the IRS or whatever. Like, unless
Or
you
the
have
McDonald's
everybody on the
worker
same
that
page,
got
you're
their
not
food
going to
wrong.
overthrow shit and change anything. You're not. Like, face that fact. You and 5 of your buddies aren't going to go fucking overthrow the government. You and 100,000 of your fucking buddies aren't going to do it. You're going to need millions. Most of the people in America, at least half.
I don't know.
And we're definitely not going to all agree and be like, well, that sounds great.
It would take a lot. It would take Trump riled up a vast group of people, but they were one-sided group, as far as the conservatives.
Well, I feel like it's a matter of proper placement and power.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you have 1,000 people properly placed that have abilities and access, you can probably do something. But with the idea of the Trump people, and he had a bunch of people riled up, that's just like if you have like a buttload of foot soldiers, you need a krang. So, yeah, until you get a krang, you got nothing.
You're not going to go anywhere.
Where do you get a krang?
Oh, they're hard to come by. You got to go deep underground for
Can you
those.
get black market krang?
You at least got to suck 3 dicks before you get
For
one.
sure, 3.
But that's yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just think about my life and the shit that I get fucked up about and the shit that bugs me and stuff. And I told Sarah, and like trying to like dig deep and find out like what the fuck is making me anxious and depressed and fucking just angry at life in general. And I'm like, a lot of it has to do with those irrational fucking thoughts of shit I can't control. Like shit that I'll never be able to control myself, like the government or us paying things or them building fucking stupid ass what are they called?
Houses and
neighborhoods
apartment
and shit
complexes and
out in
shit.
this country and shit. It tears me up because everybody knows whatever. I'm not gonna get into that, but most people are against it. The people who are for it just don't quite understand what it means for the society around them, right?
Yes.
They're like, it would be growth for my.
So then if you have enough people that are not thinking about society as a whole and they're concerned with their own personal growth, then if you allow that to run wild, it's only going to get worse over time.
Yeah, because they're not paying attention to what's going on behind closed doors.
Right.
Okay.
So then if you nip it in the bud, you have a better chance. Otherwise, it's like the idea if you turn a blind eye so many times just because it doesn't affect you personally, eventually it's going to grow into something that will affect you.
Yeah.
And then you'll be like, oh man, why didn't I do something about it?
Right.
Well, because you were complacent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's a lot of the stuff that they say about Q and Trump and all that shit, which I'm very I can't wait to see in 2024 if he does run again, because it'd
hope
be
he dies.
awesome if he doesn't.
I do.
But I would say that a lot of that has to do with them trying to stay on the up and up with it, and eventually what they're saying is going to come true in a certain degree, and then they can look at everybody else and say, you're a fucking idiot. And then the people who were worried about personal growth and all that, they feel semi-stupid for not standing up with the other people or whatever, and then they want to cry about it. So it's kind of like, what side of the fence do you want to be at? You want to be on like Mike's side, where the government's out to fucking get you at this point because you fucking walked inside of a building you weren't supposed to, and making his life miserable until the shit that they're saying comes true? Or do you want to be on the side where you didn't pay attention, and then when it does come true and it's uninhabitable, then you want to cry? Do you want to be that person? So it's a fucking lose-lose.
I feel like there's so much more to it than either the government fucks with you or
Yeah, there's
you
a lot of
ignore it.
gray area.
Yeah, for sure. There's never just two sides to something.
It's like a Donnie Darko. Is it fear or love?
Yeah. Well,
you
what
can't
about
just-
hate
yeah.
or anger or
Yeah.
everything else that exists?
Jealousy or greed.
Yes. Yeah.
There's
Most
everything.
I don't know. I think though there's a lot that plays
Motherfucker.
into my aggression and my depression, anxiety and shit like that, because I have a lot that is like great in life, but I can't see that. And that I found that negative self-talk, bro, like I fucking do that a lot. I wonder how many people actually do that to themselves. Because I told her after we started paying attention to it and like categorizing it or cataloging it, right?
Yeah.
Same
This
thing.
happened. It's crazy how much. I mean, on the shit that doesn't even need to be like talked down about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like give myself shit about like you're not good enough. I'm like, what fucking caused that? Like,
That wonderful family of yours.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
it
Well, even-
definitely grew there.
Even if you find out what caused it, who gives a shit? Just change it.
Yeah.
Change it now and don't worry about
Yeah.
Absolutely.
because that's only gonna make you like fucking resent the past and then create more anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if finding out what caused it actually helps you, sure, but
Yeah.
you know, the important thing is doing something different. You're aware of it now, so that's good. That's your first step, because if you're unaware of when you're doing it, you're never going to change it. But you know now, so you know, shut that shit down.
Shut it down.
Yeah.
No, I don't know, man. I feel like though it was just a perfect storm. I don't know if we'll get out of it, and I feel like some of the shit's gonna come true, and then there's gonna be reinvigorated with bullshit.
And
Like,
none
it's
of
gonna
that
be crazy.
shit's going to come true.
Right.
You don't
It's-
think?
No, absolutely
But I mean, even the
not.
idea of us talking about it, it's like we're talking about people that are out of our control. Mm-hmm. That's essentially
Yeah.
like people that want to rise up against the government but don't do anything about it.
Yeah.
Right.
We're just complaining. We're no better than them.
Right. So what would you have us talk about then, Ian? If you had it your way, what would we talk about?
I had a dream last night that I was in this airport,
Okay.
but I was like between a row of seats and I was naked and I kept diarrheaing all over myself.
Diarrhea.
But nobody noticed because I had an unlimited supply of toilet paper right around me.
You should have made an outfit out of that unlimited supply of toilet paper.
And nobody was noticing. I got comfortable. So I was just working on cleaning up the diarrhea. And
Did
then
you have to shit
no.
when you woke up or anything?
No.
Huh.
And then the next part of the dream, I was in this bathroom that was like at a camp, and there were like 7 or 8 people around me, but I was peeing in the sink, and over the sink there was like this urinal type circle, but it was like a hole in the thing.
Glory
And I was
hole.
like wicked strong, like peeing over the sink, like into the thing, and I was teaching these people about stuff, and I was like, now imagine if I was watching all of you pee, how uncomfortable you would be. And then they slowly like walked away. And then I was in this parking garage, like by the doo-wop shop, you know, that little
the
garage
little-
there.
Yeah.
Like I was in my car, and then Casper's car was parked next to me, but in my rear, it was in my rear view mirror. So I was like, all right, it's behind me. So I tried to pull out in a way like it's behind me, but like I pulled out and then it was next to me. And it was Casper's
trippy.
car, and like I know it objectively, but in my head it was Danton's car.
Yeah. Hell yes.
And I was like, what the fuck? And then I pulled out and then I just drove.
That's the first one reminds me because most people have a dream about like shitting their pants or diarrheaing everywhere. It would be more of a like they're self-conscious or like whatever, they're scared to shit in public or whatever whatever Carl Jung would say that meant.
Yeah.
And then mine, the one that I have a lot is like I lose all my teeth because I have a thing, I have bad teeth, so I'm like, that would be terrible if I lost them all when I was in a meeting or some shit. Oh fuck, I'd die right there. But yours is different, see? So you're shitting and not even giving a fuck.
Yeah. I wasn't like, oh, how do I make this stop? Oh,
Yeah.
people are gonna see me. It was
I'm
just
good.
this is what's happening.
Thank God for this toilet paper.
Yeah. I don't know where it's coming from, but great. I'll
That's
clean
awesome.
it up.
I've never had a dream about pooping on myself. I've done it in real life, but I've never had a dream about it.
Yeah, like in all of them, it wasn't like, oh, this has to stop. It was just, this is what's happening.
The only part of my dream I can remember from last night was these very intense, frightening eyes, and I felt awful in it. And then I woke up and had to go pee, and I was terrified that there was something in the bathtub behind the curtain. I was scared. I stayed awake for like an hour after that because I was so scared.
Huh.
I couldn't remember anything else about it, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's intense.
it was intense. It was quite frightening.
Do you ever wake up from stuff like that and you just kind of sit with the feeling, like trying to hold on to it?
Yeah.
No, usually I sit there and just I'm counting down the seconds until it fucking stops.
Yeah.
Because it always feels like there's something in the room whenever I come out of those dreams.
There
And I
might
hate
be an
it.
energy in the room, though.
Yeah, there
That's
probably
what
is.
caused it, you know.
I've turned
Maybe
lights on
somebody
and
died
stuff
here.
before because it scares me so much. I just need to see that there's nothing in the room.
Bro, there's
Yeah.
still times that as a grown-ass adult, I'll wake up from something like that, and then, like, I go to the bathroom, and everything's pitch black, and I fucking come scurrying back to the bed. Like, I'm like, I gotta get back in there. The monster's gonna get me. I'm 31, bro. and
So,
I'm-
all right. So, with that kind of stuff, like, do you guys believe that somewhere on this planet that will actually happen? Like,
I
is that a real
certainly-
possibility, or is it
Hell
like,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Yep.
definitely do think that's a possibility. Maybe that's what that is.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
occurring
yeah.
somewhere else, and you just kind of be like linked up to that other person a little bit in that moment.
Yeah. I feel like it's definitely happening. People, like, break into people's homes and wait for them to come home, and they murder them.
all right, so with that kind of stuff, do you then
Yeah.
think that the government will find a way to weaponize that kind of shit?
Almost definitely. They'll have a bunch of Eugene Victor Tombses just climbing in through the there's shit in the house.
Shit.
Climbing in through vents and stuff.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. It already exists.
All right. So is it then a battle against nature or the government?
The government always.
Always the government. They own everything.
So we're going to need to secede and get our own nuclear situation going on.
Or ask them, like, please don't develop a bunch of Tombses.
Wow.
Because that's
I
scary.
I looked up to see.
Or we just had to get an escalator.
Yeah,
on that,
absolutely.
the nuke thing, which you as a private person can't like buy like the plutonium, and you can't do all that shit. But I did look up about can you buy. So you have all these billionaires building fucking spaceships because they're gonna dip on us when that meteor comes by in 2028. So my thing is, like, I was looking up, I'm like, can we crowdsource and build our own spaceship in my backyard and then fly it? So they said there is no law saying that you can't. The only laws that are out there are like you have to have special permits to fly in certain areas. So you would have to launch it from a pad that or whatever and have the right permits to launch
Right.
that shit. But you can build it.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
So you can get a bunch of people together and build your own rocket. Now, the fucking the nuke thing, I think the first time you try to buy plutonium on the black market, they'd be at your door.
You're
quick.
going to get taken down real quick.
You're gonna want to know because you have to refine. You have to have these machines that refine the plutonium, and then you have to it's a process.
Dr. Sex Woods knows where we can get some.
Look
No,
at
he
that.
doesn't.
And he might not, but
He does not. Sex Woods,
He
quit
says he
saying
does.
shit like that.
I don't know. Or we should try to create weapons without it.
And if he does know where to get it, he's never stepping foot in this house again. Because I don't trust it.
Don't you bring that nuke ingredient in
Yes.
here.
I can't imagine anyone really wanting to make a nuke.
Oh, God, I can't.
I can see
cannot,
a
no.
bunch of people that probably would want to, but I can see him carrying plutonium in his pocket,
Yeah.
wrapped up in
I
a
got
glove.
it right here.
It's like he's not carrying it the proper ways. It's like it'd be fine.
Yeah, definitely.
I've got 3 gloves on it.
Yeah, that'd be all right.
It's not going to hurt anybody.
Before he leaves, his leg falls off. It's like, it's fine.
Apparently, water is such a good insulator when it comes to like they dump those nuclear rods that come from the power plants. You can store them in water, and if you were to jump in the same water that they're stored in, technically you would gain no radiation, no cancer, no ill effects because water insulates the the radiation
That's
very
wild.
well. Yeah, something like that. I think there's more. There's a scientific.
I was like, what
thing
about like
behind
if you get it in your eye or like you swallow some?
Because the water doesn't like absorb it, so the water is still water without like radiation or hazardous material. It just insulates the reactor. You know what I mean? So if you got the water in your eye, you would only be getting H2O in your eye, whereas if you touch the reactor, you're hit. But
Yeah, so just don't hit one.
don't bump into them while you're
Yeah.
swimming.
Be attentive when you're swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that fucking? There's a picture, like maybe it's fucking made up, but it's cool as shit. That they show the ocean like underwater in 1920, something like that, and then they show it in like 2020, and it's just filled up with plastics, and they show how much like all the damage that has been done to our planet has been done within a 100-year
Oh,
period.
yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, I haven't
Absolutely.
seen it, but yeah.
Think of all
course.
the time before, and then like all of it has happened within 100 years, which is a blip on the radar when it comes to the amount of
It is,
time
yeah.
that humans have been here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've fucking put the most pollution
That's
and
because we didn't have the ability to do it before. Everything that humanity was using was natural.
Yes, and thank
Right.
God that we can do that now.
you know something I was thinking, I was putting together in my head when I was sitting there, which it's egregious. I'm going to say that. I think it's egregious. So what they
Like
did, the whole process that got us here, right, was building consumers to raise the profit margin, right? So what they did was they took companies out of America, they shipped them overseas, and then they could make the same amount of like the same product, but a vast amount of it with cheaper materials and cheaper labor and all that. For what? Nothing. Just to sell
Money.
you more material, dumb bullshit, fucking you can't fix, you can't replace, you have to throw it away, bullshit. And they did it for money. So all the stuff that's floating and shit is of no material value. It's like, Gucci shirts and fucking busted cell phones and laptops and batteries and plastic bottles and shit. None of it benefited us to do. You know what I mean? Well, I know, but at least I like refill these like 20 times before I throw them away, and I pee in them. They're like a toilet when I'm on the
Sometimes
job.
twice.
And then you put it in the recycle bin.
Just for that gas station attendant to have a bad day. I'm just like, I fucking hate my life. Take this. Like, but no, it's just like trying to like comprehend. The only reason that we've gotten to this point is that we wanted an abundant amount of
Money.
material products so that we could gain money from
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? And I could understand if it provided something that was greater than the amount of trash or shit that you put back into the environment, right? If more good came from it than the bad of you putting, in the ocean or whatever you dumped it, it would be great. But when you look at it, it's all dumb fucking, dumb
Tamagotchis
shit.
and shit.
Yeah. Tamagotchi. I guarantee there's millions of those.
Yeah, I would love to see that pile of
And
Tamagotchis.
you say it like we're not part of the problem.
Oh no, we are. Yeah, but it's hard to say that you're part of the problem. See, they've already, which I'm going to just talk about myself. So 1990, they had already shipped car companies and other manufacturing companies overseas to make those products faster and cheaper, right?
Right.
So I was raised and like as a child and what is that?
Calypso.
They made me accustomed to like this is the way life is. We just have all these products and you can throw this away and it'll be fine and we'll put it in this recycle bin and the government will take care of it. And really they're just dumping it somewhere in Indonesia, in Thailand, like fucking making a field of just dead laptops and shit. When it comes down to it, so even you all like 86 and you're 83. So
Give or take, yeah.
even then when you were like learning, you were learning that this is just the way that life like goes. This is the thing. And then by the time you were like old enough to realize, oh shit, I'm part of the problem, you have created a human that doesn't know how to not be the problem.
Yeah, but who cares? We live comfortably.
Get out of here.
Or just bringing it back to the same argument he made earlier about the government and people
I
in
was going to say,
positions
that's
of power.
the point, though, is like, why wouldn't we, like, do something about it?
Yeah.
Or at least like the government change that up and be like, all right, we're going to bring everything back here. It may be a little more expensive. We're going to pay people more. We're going to stimulate our own economy. The thing that they fucked up on is that they gave control to other countries on goods and services. So when it comes down to it, I think we're going to be left fucking with nothing.
Well, it really just boils down to the effect it's going to have on humanity in the long term. Because Earth is going to be fine. If I learned anything from that mushroom documentary the other day, it's that
It's going to eat it.
It's going to eat it.
Yep.
And the Earth is going to be fine. So it's like, all right, well, humanity's going to be fucked a generation or 3 from now, but I won't be here.
Yeah.
So who gives a shit?
I think that's a lot of, it's a lot of, especially like higher up people or people with a lot of money. That's the thought. So you're going to be there. Even if you had kids, and I know you have that like parental fucking thing in you that you're like, I want to take care of them even after I'm gone. That's why we leave things to our kids, like the little pieces of shit. Didn't get enough while I'm alive. I'm going to leave them all my money too in the house. So that's
I'm
what
gonna draw
happens.
hugs on my money.
Take this. But that's what happens. So I think even people with kids to a certain degree, they don't fucking care. They're gonna like, especially when they're at that age where you learn that, oh shit, like this is an inevitability no matter how much money or career or whatever, I'm going to fucking be worm food for sure.
Yeah.
And then some of those motherfuckers are so scared of that outcome that they fucking freeze themselves, thinking that one day they'll be able to replace this liquid nitrogen they put in their veins with blood again.
They're just going to be ice worm food.
That's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
It just seems crazy to me. Like, why is that a thing that people
Because
want to
people
do?
are so fucking
I'm
scared.
cool with it. I would like to wake up in the year like 2275.
No.
So I think that would be pretty
Look,
sweet.
let me die.
But just
Like,
because
my
of
God.
curiosity.
Like, I've experienced shit.
Well,
I'm good.
Yeah, see, I have the same thing. It's like, let me just die.
Yeah.
Because, if there's an afterlife, great. I want to explore that.
Yeah.
If not, then, I'll be at
Then I
rest. And
won't
who gives a
fucking know. Yeah.
shit? Yeah. But it's just curiosity of something, whether it's the future or the afterlife or the abyss.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
I feel like the future would be awful.
Maybe. But I mean, we have the idea of like everybody wants to go green. So if we balance our impact and make it positive, then
Yeah, if that actually happens.
it could eventually be cool.
Yeah.
And then we'll just get hit with a meteor, or the ice caps will melt. We'll drown.
The sun will explode.
But yeah, the sun will explode.
Yeah.
It's inevitable.
Fuck yes.
And then if the sun doesn't explode, then the universe will collapse on itself,
Yep.
or
It's
it'll
gonna
expand and
Come
then-
across a really big black hole and just get sucked into it. Everything will start over.
Yeah.
I feel like we should end on that.
I do have to pee.
Yeah.
I've had to pee for like 30 minutes, but it's just
You-
pounding on my bladder.
Do you want to pee in that bottle? On camera?
No.
Bro, if you go out to my van right now, there are at least like 10 big bottles like this of pee and then maybe a jug of pee.
Why don't you empty them?
I do, but it just takes me a while because I'm lazy. Eventually, like I'm dead, and then I look like a fucking freak because I'm like trying to hide them while I'm throwing them away at the gas station because I'm like, somebody's gonna think I'm disgusting.
Oh, I just have this
Think.
excess lemonade.
I know. I'm like, it's just tea, bro.
It's all hot. I hate it. Get it out.
I will say though, if you leave pee for long enough, right, in a bottle, and it's clear when it first goes in.
Yeah.
By the time you throw it away, maybe let's just say 3-4 days later, there will be particles floating that had because they gathered together from your pee,
Yeah.
and they'll be floating. So something that was clear actually has salts and solids in it, and then they find each other and they bond to one another. And then it's so weird because I'm like, well, if you let that pee set long enough in your bladder, that's where like kidneys or what are those when you get those little stones in your
Yeah,
piss?
that's what that is.
Yeah, pea chunks.
Pee chunks.
It's
All
the
right, man.
medical name.
Well, that was a beautiful, beautiful podcast. Thank you for coming back
Yeah.
for another one.
Yeah.
Another
I'm
one.
eat.
Another one. We appreciate everybody that made it this far. It's been beautiful for episode number 139. It's beautiful outside, although it's cold as shit.
Yeah, it's cold. It's misleading.
It's a little cool.
Yeah.
But it gets me ready. It gets me ready for summer. Let's do this.
Fuck summer.
Thank you
Hate
for
summer,
listening.
too.
Like, share, comment. Do all that shit. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.
Have a great day. You want to go away now? Have a
Oh my
great
God.
day.
That was scary.
Wildly uninteresting podcast.